Welcome everyone. My name is Susan Patterson. I'm the host of this YouTube channel. I am very proud to showcase Fairtrade LA today, given that through their extraordinary efforts, they were able to establish Los Angeles, California as the fourth largest fair trade city in the world. If a product has a label like this, it means that no child or slave labor was used in the production of that product. If third world human trafficking is where your heart is, then do look for our other videos on this subject, like the one with Destiny Rescue on sex trafficking, and the video I did on preventing labor trafficking in the third world, which outlines many other actions in addition to this video that you can take that protects families from becoming victimized by human trafficking. Do support our work by subscribing to this channel and liking and sharing this video. Let's join Alicia now. Welcome, everyone. I am so pleased to have Alicia Chan here today. She is a woman of many talents. She is the executive director of Fairtrade LA, a nonprofit that officially designated Los Angeles the largest fair trade city in America and the fourth largest fair trade city in the world, and continues to raise awareness for fair trade as a solution to end labor trafficking in the third world. She is also the founder of Alicia C, an ethical brand on a mission to end poverty through job creation. She currently works with many artisans and producers throughout Haiti while doing philanthropy work in a small village called Fondouge, Haiti. She has since established a scholarship program sending underprivileged youth to school from preschool to university. She is also a passionate advocate of establishing long-term solutions to break the cycle of poverty. Welcome, Alicia.
Thank you so much for having me, Susan.
That's good. Well, I'm excited about being able to educate our audience with what it is you have to share.
Yeah.
But how did you come to the issue of protecting third world families from labor trafficking?
Yeah, so my history goes all the way back to when I was a student at UCLA. I went on my first mission trip to Haiti when I was a sophomore, and I saw abject poverty, people who did not have the basic necessities, shelter, food, water. And I just kept, after every one of those trips coming back, I just kept feeling like I wanted to do more, that there was more to do than just a short-term, relief or short-term aid. And after my 7th trip, I came back and it just clicked. I found my passion in ending poverty through job creation. I realized that ultimately job creation is the key to ending poverty, which will then prevent a lot of other global issues, including orphan prevention, human trafficking, and the list goes on that just stems from poverty. So that's how I got started and found all these Haitian artisans and got connected to Fairtrade LA. At that point, I didn't even know what fair trade was. I just knew that by employing people and giving people sustainable wages, that it will help end the cycle of poverty. So through Fairtrade LA, I got connected to all these individuals that are passionate about the same thing and doing amazing things all around the world. And after 33 trips to Haiti so far, I am more convinced than ever that we are on the right track.
Fantastic. I love it. So what exactly does Fairtrade LA do?
So Fairtrade LA, we are an educational nonprofit. We are here to raise awareness and inspire consumers to buy fair trade products so that global farmers and producers can make a fair and sustainable living. So ultimately, we're educating consumers about how fair trade is the solution to ending labor trafficking.
Very good. Now, and what did it take to become the largest fair trade city in the world?
Yeah, so because of the size of Los Angeles, we had to identify over 100 businesses that sell 2 fair trade items, at least 2 fair trade items. And then we had to identify 100 organizations, including a lot of the congregations that stepped in to serve at least 1 fair trade item, like a coffee or sugar. We had to form a group, and here we are, Fairtrade LA. And then at the end, we had to pass a resolution at LA City Council to a fair trade resolution where the city council committed to Los Angeles becoming a fair trade city and declaring every second Saturday of May every year, World Fair Trade Day. And we were able to do that in the middle of 2020. So in the midst of our difficult year, we were able to make LA the largest fair trade city in America.
Wow. Wow. That is beautiful. Now, how would other cities become a fair trade city?
Yeah, so we have many chapters. We call ourselves kind of like the local chapters, local campaigns all throughout America. So before Los Angeles became a fair trade, the largest fair trade city was Chicago Fair Trade. So if you want to help your city become a fair trade city, I would say go to Fair Trade Campaigns. Fair Trade Campaigns is kind of like the overarching umbrella that all of our local campaigns are under. And even if you're interested in becoming a fair trade congregation or a fair trade school, fair trade university, all those things, I would recommend that you contact Fair Trade Campaigns, and there's a lot of resources there to help you accomplish that.
Beautiful. Now, if a church wanted to become a fair trade church, so in addition to contacting fair trade campaigns, where would you suggest they start?
Yeah, so I highly recommend churches become fair trade congregations because it just aligns with our mission of bringing justice, social justice around the world. And people just don't realize that you can fight for social justice just by selecting fair trade coffee. The coffee you drink, the sugar you drink, the tea. You can fight for social justice that way. And so I would highly recommend committing to one fair trade product to serve to your congregation. And a lot of times that's the Sunday morning coffee or just having a fair trade tea option. And through that, I would suggest educating the congregation on what fair trade is and what labor trafficking is. And I know that Fair Trade LA, we can come in and share and do a presentation. We've done documentary screenings, just different ways to educate your congregation on this issue. And ultimately, it's about education, and we even do pop-ups. So we even bring in business vendors that sell fair trade products, and we could come in and do a pop-up, and it's a tangible way for your congregation to shop fair trade and make that direct connection of when I shop these things, real lives are being changed.
Beautiful. I've been to several churches where they had like Fair Trade Sunday, whereas people left the church, they would be able to come to a table, or they'd have almost like a carnival where they'd have 3 or 4 tables with different products and gifts and stuff like that. And people were shocked to find out that in America, there are slave-made products that people are purchasing. It really woke people up and created a sense of community. And I really do want to encourage churches to take this on because it's a very simple thing to take on to start serving fair trade coffee.
Yeah, and it's amazing how just people they just don't know. They're just not aware. And it's not that they don't care, they just don't know. And so by simply educating your congregation, it enables them to take action and make a difference.
Very good. And what kind of resources does your website offer? So if someone wanted to learn more or start taking action, what should they be looking at your website?
Yeah, so that we have a lot of resources on our website. If you go to fairtradela.org, one of my favorite new features is we have a business member directory on there. And so if you are, especially as the holiday comes around, if you want to buy fair trade gifts, go to our business member directory and you can shop all those small businesses on there. And we also provide fair trade products. We want to make fair trade products accessible. So we partnered with one of our fair trade coffee companies to create our Fair Trade LA coffee. And in the pandemic, we had a request of, can you, create a program where I don't have to go to the grocery stores anymore. So now we have a coffee subscription program where you can select your own frequency and we will ship coffee directly to you as often as you want. We also have this monthly subscription called a Fair Package, and it's really fun. Every month we send you a surprise fair trade item that also has a story card talking about the company and the story of how your product is made, and it's very meaningful. And it's a way for you to get introduced to fair trade companies, but also you have fair trade gifts that are just ready to gift, at home whenever you need it. And other than that, we just have resources like blogs on there, educational resources. So we have recently released a blog about fair trade fashion and just what fair trade is about. So definitely get on there, and I'm sure you're going to learn a lot about fair trade through our website.
I love it. Now, what services do you offer to the local Southern California community?
Yeah. So we have a membership program. One, we definitely encourage you to become a member. We have membership levels from individuals to nonprofits like churches, business vendors, if you sell fair trade items, or business allies, if you just support fair trade. And through that, you can join our network of just passionate individuals who are fair trade advocates. And besides that, like I said, we're an educational nonprofit. So we would love to come speak to your group, whether it's your congregation or your office or your school, even high school and middle school. We would love to just come and educate and partner with you to spread the message. And like, again, I said, if you, around the holidays, if you want to put together like a Christmas market to encourage shopping fair trade, we can gather our business members and do their Christmas pop-ups as well.
I love it. I love all of it. Is there anything else you want to add, or you think it's important for our audience to know before we complete today?
Yeah. As we approach the holiday season, as you guys know, the holiday season is the biggest spending time of the year for all Americans. And as we approach this, I just want you guys to think about this purchasing power that we all have. This purchasing power can be used for good. These gifts that we buy, these coffees that we drink can be used for good. And I just want you to consider, especially as we approach this holiday season, to think about the lives that could be changed when you shop fair trade, when you shop ethically, that these gifts are not just something to satisfy, a Christmas season, but they can change lives and they can break the cycle of poverty for someone in need around the world. So it's a very empowering thing. And I just encourage all of us to take that step. As we gain this knowledge, let's all take a step to make a change.
Beautiful. At my family events, we oftentimes would bring Cease candy. And they do have a commitment not to use slaves, but it's not quite the fair trade when it's labeled fair trade on the box and everything. And so I brought chocolate to my family Christmas and used it as an opportunity to educate my family. And they were so impressed. I mean, they loved it. They felt good about it, like you said.
Yeah. It's so much more meaningful too for the receiver when they know the story and the lives being impacted. And it's just like, it motivates people to take action as well. It's just so empowering. So I love it all around.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. And thank you.
Thank you. And feel free to reach out to all the listeners. Feel free to reach out if you would like to get connected.